Hey guys, welcome. About to get started on a road trip where I'll be camping in the Tesla again. This week we are headed to bachelor party down in Radford in Virginia. So it is currently about 4:45 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. I am going to drive down early so that I can get a head start and do some hiking first thing tomorrow, which I'll bring you guys along for, and then I'll be diving into bachelor party weekend. Anyways, yeah, we'll get started here. I'm currently sitting at 97% battery. I was able to charge up here at work today, thankfully, so I didn't have to worry about stopping for multiple superchargers. I could just make pretty much what I wanted to do work all in one shot. Uh, Currently planning to stop at the supercharger in Staunton, Virginia, and stay overnight, stealth camp somewhere around that area. I'll talk to you guys a little bit more later about what that's going to look like. But as you can see here, we've got 97% battery to start with, and we're predicting arrival to be around 26% across 221 miles or 3.5 hours worth of driving. So we'll see how true that is when we get there. In the meantime, let's get on the road and we'll check in there. All right, checking in with a mid-drive update and some mid-drive thoughts. First and foremost, Heather won't be featured in this video at all. She didn't catch the invite to the bachelor party, so womp womp for her. But the second thing I wanted to speak about that I was thinking was really interesting was when we left, or started the trip, I should say, it was predicted that we'd arrive with, I think, 22 or 23% battery left. And as I was leaving, I noticed that that number was quickly dropping. And it was all the way down at 18% at one point in time. And I thought that was super interesting because I had also, before the trip, of course, planned this out. And I was looking at a better route planner, which I can pull up on screen and show you guys what I had calculated for all of this. But a better route planner was predicting that I would arrive with 14% battery from where I work down to the supercharger in Staunton. And I thought that was really interesting that it seemed like maybe a better route planner knew better than the Tesla navigation. But once I had gotten out of kind of the congested area post work and the post 5 o'clock rush traffic, I got on the highway and I've been driving for quite a bit now, and I'm actually back up at 21% predicted arrival. So that number has gone up. It seems to have stabilized, especially since we've been on the highway for a while and we're pulling in around 250 watt hours per mile, which is a really, really good value. It seems to have stabilized there. So it turns out a better route planner didn't know better, or at least in this routing that I'm taking, it didn't know better. One of the other things I was thinking about, if you guys have a Tesla, I'm sure you know about autopilot, and then along with autopilot comes what I call the Tesla nag, and I think other people refer to it that way as well. But I found that sunglasses do a really good job of basically making it not so annoying, so you don't have to basically hands on the wheel, eyes on the road. Like every 5 seconds you can actually like sit back and relax a little bit with autopilot on. Now, I'm not encouraging people to not pay attention when they're driving, but I do think that sunglasses kind of ease some of that annoyingness by the Tesla nagging system. So just a couple of tips. It looks like we're still set to arrive around 8:20 p.m. In Staunton, which is fantastic. And so I'm just going to keep it on autopilot. Keep it on autopilot and keep on chugging along here. And I'll check in with you guys when we get there. Okay, one final mid-drive update. I did want to call to attention that this trip did require some extra planning on my part. So I don't want to act like every time we hop in the EV, it's super easy to know what we're going to do, and we just know that there's going to be enough charge. I did spend some time on a better route planner, which I'll pull up on screen so you guys can see now, to ensure that in addition to where I'm going to make it tonight, that what I'm planning to do tomorrow after I use camp mode all night and then travel another 2 hours and then go to the actual location for the bachelor party and then returning home, like I want to make sure that I could get to where I needed to be, specifically the next supercharger, without any worries. So I did just want to call out extra attention that it did take probably 10 or 15 minutes worth of planning. Again, nothing super difficult, but something I wanted to shout out because in a traditional ICE vehicle, you could just hop in and go because you're pretty much guaranteed a gas station everywhere. So just wanted to bring that to attention here. Okay, so we've arrived. We made it with 21% battery. That current drive, 225 miles across 3.5 hours, pulling in 246 watt hours per mile, which is really good. We're at the supercharger at the Sheets in Staunton. I'm gonna get myself plugged in, use the restroom, and probably grab some dinner, and then we'll get charged up. All right, so we're all plugged in. About 50 minutes to charge up to 98%. These are 150 kilowatt chargers that we're plugged into here. So not sure if we're going to stick around for all that time, but interestingly, I did have to move from the first supercharger stall that I parked in. I'll show you guys a photo on the screen or a video then. The supercharger was actually missing pins on the inside. So when I plugged in, I never got my blue light, had to pop back out and then realized what was going on. So yeah, gonna grab some food, use the bathroom, and we'll be back in a bit. Don't judge me. I got a meatball sub on a pretzel roll at Sheets, the combo with the fries and the large drink, and it absolutely slapped. All right, so as I sat here eating dinner, I thought about where I wanted to stay, and I did some searching on the map, and I think we're gonna end up at a True Hotel by Hilton parking lot this evening. It looks like that should be a good place for me to stealth camp, and they'll definitely have a public restroom that I can use to use the restroom, brush my teeth, and all that good stuff, and maybe refill on some water. So we'll be headed there shortly. I am currently still sitting here in the supercharging stall at 94% total battery. We've got about 10 minutes left. I've plugged in what I hope to do tomorrow, and it's showing that I'll have plenty of battery to get to my final destination, which will be on Sunday, and that final destination will be another supercharger. But I'm just hanging out just to ensure that I've got enough. I got nowhere to be. I'm just gonna run over and get the bed and all that stuff set up. Depending on the light quality and the video quality, I may or may not show that. In any case, I'll at least show the final product for what you can see. So yeah, we're just gonna get finished up over here, and we'll see you guys over at the True Hotel in some form or fashion. Okay, so I was just thinking, I didn't show you guys, I didn't actually pay for the last charging session in Staunton because I am currently on referral credit super miles. Shout out to my brother who actually purchased a Tesla vehicle as well, and referred me, and we both got some credits. But I did want to show you that if we do look at the Staunton supercharging cost, we can see here 33 cents per kilowatt hour. So just an FYI, but I was thinking about that. I probably should have showed that when we were back up there. So while I was walking around the hotels, or to go into the hotels, I discovered that they both, there were two right beside each other. They both had charging units, level 2 charging for both Tesla NACS charging as well as the J1772 more universal style charger, I'll call it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I did double check on PlugShare and they were listed there. I brushed my teeth, I set up the bed, and then I enjoyed my time in the evening before I hit the snooze. Good morning. It's currently about 7:15. I slept really well last night in the Tesla. No problems at all. Nobody knocking, no noises, no lights in my eyes. We picked a really good spot, actually underneath a tree that's actually blocking one of the street lights. And it also gave me tons of privacy to set up the bed as well, which I'll show you in a second. I'm gonna get myself ready for the day and roll on out, and we'll get to our activities. Life pro tip: bring a fanny pack if you're sleeping in the vehicle, because it allows carrying things in and out of a hotel or a rest stop or wherever you are way more easy and less conspicuous than walking in with like a toothbrush and toothpaste in hand. You just look a little more, I would say, normal. Okay, so after camp mode and sleeping last night, we're down to 83% battery, which is totally fine. What we're going to do is get punched in here where we want to go, and we'll get the estimates on screen. All right, so we're headed to Dragon Tooth's Trailhead Parking, and I think it's Catawba technically, but predicted arrival 9:12 a.m., 91 miles in total, and predicted battery will be 53%. So let's get on the road and see where we end up. By the way, I don't think I got to show you last night's setup, so here it is. Couldn't capture it last night. There just wasn't enough light in the, showing in here for you guys to see. But same thing as always, Xped Mega Mat Auto blown up, hand pumped to finalize it. And then we've got sheets and pillows and blanket. Had some early morning thoughts. I just wanted to share with you guys that I was able to brush my teeth and use the restroom on site where I stayed last night, which was fantastic. It's super convenient. Makes life a whole lot easier when you don't got to run all around the place to find a bathroom. I also wanted to comment on the battery drop from last night in camp mode. I think we started at 95 or 96%. I can't remember exactly, but I shared with you we ended up at 83%. That seems to track with the formula I've been using for about 1.5% of battery used per hour that you're in camp mode. I think I was in the car for about 9 hours last night total, give or take. And so those numbers seem to track. So just an FYI, if you want a formula to use for camp mode, it's 1.5% per hour that you've got it turned on. And for clarity, I was at 68 degrees in the car overnight. Rerouting update. We were originally meant to go all the way down into Roanoke before here we go. We were originally meant to go all the way into Roanoke and take this exit, but as you can see, it's backed up pretty good. So we are rerouting, but we are still predicted to arrive with 52%. So we're going to check it out and see how it goes. All right, as you can see, we're doing the Dragon Tooth Trail. Found this hike on alltrails.com when I was looking for places to stop along the way and do some activity. It's a 4.5+ mile out and back trail down here in Virginia. It is, I think, 1,200 or 1,300 feet of elevation. They say it's about 3.5 to 4 hours to complete. So I hope my body can keep up because we're doing it today. I've got my water, I've got my essentials, and I think we are ready to go. Let's hit it. All right, guys, we made it to the top in about an hour and a half. I am as sweaty as I've ever been. I was booking it pretty good. This is a very, very awesome East Coast hike. 10 out of 10, have to recommend it. The views are incredible. The climb is awesome, difficult, fun, all the stuff you would want, and very rewarding when you get to the top. I mean, the views here are just awesome. So definitely recommend it if you have the chance to do it. I'm going to take some time to catch my breath up here, grab some water, and then make my way back down. We'll see you down there. Gross. We made it. It is currently 12:07, so it took us about 3 hours, I believe. Not bad, better than predicted. If you are doing this hike, you have to bring more water than this. I believe this is a 32-ounce bottle. Not enough. I'll be okay because I was hydrated from last night and this morning, and I've got more water in the car, but bring more along. Don't be a doofus like me. Guys, I think I forgot to mention, we did arrive with 53% battery from the trip. I had to rush out and use the bathroom real quick, so I forgot. But we're about to get back on the road. Currently 12:17, 81 degrees outside. I do not have any connectivity, so I can't show you guys the estimates yet. But we're headed towards Radford for the bachelor party, and I'll get you some stats here in just a moment. All right, as mentioned, we are at 53%. I punched in the address manually, and it shows that we're going to arrive with 39% battery remaining after the 44 miles of travel. So we'll see if that holds true. In all likelihood, I probably won't be going right to this address. I'll probably be stopping for lunch and drinks and meeting up with some of the guys along the way. So truthfully, I may not see you again until we're at the Airbnb, but we'll check in whenever we can. So some changes, currently at 40% battery and about to grab some lunch, but changes to the plan. As you can see on screen, the Hanging Rock entrance to 81 is a total disaster. It's actually closed at the moment. So I had to loop all around Salem and back and forth before I could get on 81 and come around. And I thought on the way down here, I'm gonna stop for lunch, and then I'm probably gonna stop at Aldi's to grab some breakfast for tomorrow. But currently stopped at Dude's Drive-In, Drive-Up and Takeout, trying a double dude burger, onion rings, strawberry milkshake. We'll definitely show you guys that food and report in a score, but obviously the previous estimations of when I would arrive and what battery percentage are totally out the door at this point. So we're hovering at 40% now, and we still got probably another 10 or 15 minute drive beyond that once we're done. So I can already tell this food is going to be amazing. They absolutely hooked me up. That's the Dude Double right there. Here's some shots of the VRBO that we stayed at. Awesome space, really nice, secluded, lots of stuff for us to do while we were in there, kitchen, plenty of beds, all that good stuff. So we had a great time. But of course on Sunday then I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I didn't record on the way back, or I should say I didn't speak while I was recording on the way back. So when we rolled out on Sunday, I made it to the closest supercharger with 22% battery. While I was there, I got myself charged up to 56%, and we were off to the Mount Jackson supercharger, where we were estimated to arrive with 19% battery. Now what was interesting is when we arrived at the Mount Jackson supercharger, I got myself plugged in and went inside and used the bathroom and everything, but it was a 150 kilowatt charger, but for whatever reason it wasn't charging up properly. And you can see here we were hanging around 60 kilowatts and it was taking just an eternity. So I decided I was going to roll up to the Winchester supercharger instead, since I had plenty of battery left. And I did that, and once I was plugged in at Winchester it was much better. Got there with 17%. It was a 250 kilowatt charger, which we immediately started pulling in, so we were charging way faster. And then from there, we were able to charge up enough to get us all the way home. And that only took, 15 or 20 minutes. We made it! Thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you in another one soon.